Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee Wee back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the manhwa Return to Player. Now this is an older manhwa, and what I mean by that is like it came out like I think 5-ish years ago. If we scroll, yeah, so 2021. Um, yeah, April of 2021. So a little over 5 years. There are currently, as you can see on Webtoon, where I'm reading it, there are 242 chapters, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this comic was it's pretty simple. We have a female main character who isn't the female like lead or like the main focus of the comic. However, the female main character slash the female lead is actually competent. Like she is. Like this is her here. She can actually like fight people like on her own, right? And she doesn't have to like she's she has more personality than just a damsel in distress. Like she really is just like extremely strong on her own, because she got this like passive skill. A little more on that in a second. A quick synopsis of this comic is basically 10 years ago the world turned into like a stage for a video game. The monsters started taking over and a system appeared that like gives out like main quests and missions to for these like for the people who have become players is what they get referred to as. That's why it's called Return to Player. Humans basically became players in a game that was orchestrated by these gods, simply for the entertainment, of the gods. They basically just spectated using overseers, which are like little eyeball camera things that like follow the people that they're interested around. They can also choose a player to be their avatar, which is essentially lending the human their power to use in terms of like skills and basically what you would imagine from a video game. Like they level up, they get stats, they get skills, they can upgrade some skills aren't upgradable. But basically, these gods can choose avatars, give them their power, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what this comic is about. This is our main character here. He was the last remaining human in this game. And basically, he unlocks the achievement, the bad ending, a lonely world. We come a little later, he gets a chance to uh, get a DLC, which is like a second playthrough to where he basically regresses 10 years in the past. And I wonder if it can show that here. But yeah, so he regresses like 10 years in the past, and then we come back to the start of where the monsters first started appearing from, basically all around the world, and when the game officially starts. But as I said, so these humans basically have to become players. They all get a system. I do want to talk about the setup in terms of like gods and monsters and stuff. So like base low level is like normal monsters, and then there's sentinels, which are like elite monsters that you would find in like an ARPG. Like they're slightly stronger monsters. Above that, you have these gods who are basically like the observers and the people who are just watching for their entertainment. You have GMs, which are like stronger gods than like normal, like even the gods. Like there's gods that are stronger than others. These like GMs have power over certain regions, like Korea's a region, the USA's a region. Each has like their own GM, kind of like a moderator for the server type thing. And then overall, there's a system that basically has like the highest authority, can basically override anything. And it is that system that basically gives our main character this like second life, second playthrough type thing. And basically, none of the gods realize that this is his second life. At least not up till I read to. I haven't read that far into it. I'm thinking like 60 or 70. But our main character basically decides that in his first world, like his first playthrough, he ended up all alone. However, in this one, he wants to basically save people, play hero type thing. But as I said, the main reason why I like this comic, because you can see the art's pretty meh. Like there isn't, it's not special. It's really not the greatest, but she is like my favorite character in this entire comic. Like our main character is weak. He's not like actually weak, but he's like he's not talented. He just has a lot of experience, so he's able to use that experience to like be portrayed as strongest. However, she herself is stronger than him, except she lacks experience, so it just seems like he's stronger. But the reason why I like this comic is because she, has this passive skill that basically whenever she goes against like humanoid beings, like other humans or monster like humans, she gets like 100% buff in strength and whatnot, and she just becomes an extremely badass character who he can actually rely on to actually like do stuff by herself and take care of herself. And it's just refreshing to see a manhwa where we have a competent female character, because I'm pretty sure she's like the love interest. I'm pretty sure. I know she becomes like yandere because I've been spoiled, but like she can actually, she's not a damsel in distress always waiting to be saved. Like she can actually stand up on her own, take care of the things that need to be done, and it really is refreshing that she isn't just some meek damsel in distress, and she is actually a pretty huge badass in her own right. Like you see here, she's basically massacring this entire group of people, and even their leader, he even says it as he dies. Even he didn't make much difference in her eyes because she's just that badass on her own. And I really like this comic simply on that front. As I said, the art isn't anything special. The plot's kind of like meh, like it's whatever. Pretty negligible in my opinion. But she basically makes this comic for me. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today because it was just something refreshing and something pleasantly surprised by when I picked up this comic to read. But yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this video. If you guys like, leave a sub, leave a like. I hope to see more of you in the future. I hope to continue growing this channel, make more videos, and to talk about more comics with all of you. But that'll be it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.